Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Food Experience. Today, the good folks over at Kitchen Elite sent me their 26-quart air fryer oven. In this video, I'll unbox the device, go over all the features, and show some cooking examples. And without further ado, here we go. When you unbox the device, you'll get a baking/drip pan, wire rack, instruction manual, and the air fryer oven. Some of the parts are inside of the air fryer oven. There's some strapping tape that you'll have to remove. After that, you could open the French doors. Inside, you'll have the air fryer basket and also a crumb tray. The crumb tray always sits at the very bottom of the oven, no exceptions. Do not try to place that above the heating elements. At the very top, there's a digital touchscreen display. Below that, you have the French doors. Each one is marked with a heat symbol, letting you know that these doors are going to run hot. At the bottom right corner, you'll see a Kitchen Elite logo. Also indicated are what the different levels are used for: dehydrator, fast air frying, broil, grill, and steak, air frying, bake to, pizza, warm, defrost, roast, and toast, and bake one, proofing. Before using the product, I would recommend using soapy water to clean the drip and bake pan, in addition to the wire rack. Also, I would recommend cleaning the crumb tray. I would not run any of these items through the dishwasher. Pretty sure they will not have a good time in there. They also recommend using a soapy sponge to get rid of anything inside the oven, but instead of that, I'm going to do a burn test, which will essentially do the same thing. There's ventilation at the top of the oven. Make sure not to cover that with anything, and make sure there's a good amount of space above it. Both sides of the oven have additional ventilation, and also make sure not to block these. It really needs to breathe. Here's a look at the back side, and there's additional ventilation. Make sure not to block it. You'll have standoff pegs here, so you can't put it directly against the wall, but I truly don't think that's long enough. I would try to have at least 6 inches of space behind it. And what's really interesting, I notice it has these holes. I know some air fryer ovens have a charcoal filter that snaps into those type of holes. This one doesn't have it, so don't be concerned that there's nothing that fits inside of those holes. I measured the power cord, and it's about 33.5 inches long. The power cord is polarized. It will only fit into your power outlet one direction. It does not feature a ground, and it does not need one. Here's a look inside. There are 2 heating elements on the bottom. This one does not feature a rotisserie. Here's a look at the top with the additional heating elements and also an air fryer fan. When plugging it in for the first time, you will notice everything light up and then turn off. After that, you'll see an illuminated power icon. To turn on the device, press the power icon. All of your functions will appear. Temperature, time, plus and minus. It will toggle between the temperature and the running time. There's an interior light. Press it again to turn it off. This icon is a preheat function. It will preheat the device to whatever temperature you have set. This icon toggles through all these different functions. There's functions for air fry, steak, bacon, chicken, fries, fish, shrimp, wings, defrost, bagel, bake, broil, pizza, pastry, warm, roast, proof, and toast. Inside the manual, it goes over all the cooking time and temperatures for the presets. I'm not sure I agree with all of them, but I will experiment with these and see how they perform. Also, I'm fairly certain that the top row of functions is for air frying modes and only uses the upper heating elements combined with the fan. The lower functions are probably equivalent to an oven where it uses the upper and lower heating elements, and probably without the air fryer fan. I'll have to do some testing on that. But to adjust the temperature, you could hit the temperature icon and use the plus, goes up to 450, or minus, and you could certainly hold it down and it will kind of slowly scroll through all the different temperatures. Once you're good with the temperature, you could go to time and set the time. So you could go minus or plus, it goes in minutes. You could certainly hold down the button and it goes up to 1.5 hours of cooking time. To start the oven with everything you preset, press the power button. I could hear the air fryer fan go on. I'm going to turn it off for now. And the air fryer fan will stay on during the power off cycle just to make sure it cools down. Turn it back on. As I mentioned, you can press this icon to go through the functions, and you'll see the display change depending on what function you're on. Go over to steak. The default is 450 degrees. The default time is 13 minutes. I'll set it for 20 minutes. I'm going to let it run through the whole 20-minute cycle. That should kind of test the device out, in addition to burn off any residual oils. While it's heating up, you'll notice the function icon blink. You may notice a little bit of odor as it's heating up for the first time and burning off the manufacturing oil. Also, as it's going through the cycle, I just want to let you know, it may look like it's slid underneath this cabinet. It's not. There's the cabinet, there's the back of the oven. The oven is slid out so that it is even with this cabinet. Just want to stress that you need to have adequate ventilation with these type of devices. It's down to the last minute of the cycle. The cycle is complete. It'll beep a few times to let you know, and it will display the word off. Right around the French doors, it's 282 degrees, so definitely do not touch that glass when it's in operation. The handles themselves, they feel very warm, but they're definitely not hot. Yeah, right at 104 degrees. For this test, I have diced hash brown potatoes from Wild Fork and Nathan's thick sliced battered onion rings. Both of these require air fryer mode at 365 degrees. Power on. Temperature, reduce it to 365. And I'll leave it on 20 minutes. They need to be cooked for 15 minutes, but that allows time for it to preheat. And as it's preheating, the air fry light will be flashing. That should be a good amount. You want to get them in a single layer. Okay, the preheating is complete. And I would say that's just a hair under 4 minutes. So it's been 4 minutes now. Putting them in the regular air frying slot. And as you can see, air fry is blinking again because it's not up to temperature anymore. Once it gets back up to temperature, that will turn solid. These need to cook about 15 minutes, so I'll adjust the time to 15 minutes. And halfway through, I'll give them a good shake. They're halfway done cooking. Flipping the onion rings over. And shaking up the potatoes. Back in they go. And let them continue until the finish. They're on the last minute right now, and to me, they look done. I could probably pull them out now. That's what I'm looking at. Next, I'm cooking some chicken wings. First thing to do is preheat the air fryer. Now I noticed there's a setting for wings on here, but when I go over to it, it's at 450 degrees. That's way too hot. So instead, there's also a setting for chicken at 360 degrees, which pretty much is equivalent to 400 degrees in a regular oven, and that's right about where you want it. The default is 40 minutes. I'm going to make it a little higher to prepare the chicken. Go with 55. Start her up. Going to remove this rack. I'm spraying them down with some avocado oil that'll be used as a binder. It also will help crispen the skin a bit. I'm using Meat Church Holy Voodoo for the seasoning. Also going to get the bottom side. And this should give the chicken some nice color, in addition to some awesome taste. I'm going to use the baking pan as a drip tray and cover it with aluminum foil to catch all the grease. That way all of the juices go to the aluminum foil instead of messing up the pan. Meanwhile, the air fryer is up to temperature. You could tell chicken is solid. It was flashing. It will flash as the preheat process is going on. I'm putting the drip pan in the lowest position. Meanwhile, I'm putting the wings into the air fryer basket and into the air fry slot. I'll let them go for about a half hour and then I'll check the temperature on them. After thinking about things, I think I'll bump it up to 400 degrees. I really don't want to go any hotter than that because I feel like the chicken skins may burn at that point. Chicken's been going a half hour. I want to do a temp check on them and see where we're at. Oh wow. Well, they're more well done. You know, I've seen some people putting wings at 400 degrees for like 45 minutes in their air fryer. I'm like, dude, those are going to be wasted by then. So these have a little bit of crispness. The rub definitely stuck. Plate them up, hoping they didn't stick too badly to this. Not really at all. All right, there we go. Chicken wings in the Kitchen Elite air fryer oven. I'll try Nestle Toll House cookies. Turn the air fryer oven on. We need to go over to bake. Set the temperature, 350 degrees. Time, set on 25. That should be good enough to allow for a preheat. Start her up. As it's preheating, the bake light will flash. When it's up to temperature, it'll turn solid. There we go, up to temperature. Bake light is no longer flashing. Inserting into the bake position. Adjusting the time. They say 12 to 13 minutes or until golden brown. So we'll see what happens. We are on the last minute now. Should be done anytime. I noticed there is some browning going on towards the back. The front ones, yeah, a little bit as well. There we go. Cycle is complete. That's what I'm looking at, and I'll let them cool down for a couple minutes. I had to try one of these. They're so good when they're nice and hot. I love using parchment paper. The bottoms always come out so perfect. And you can tell from the carryover heat, the tops definitely look pretty good as well. This time, I'm trying toast. Turn it on, and if you notice at the very end, there is a toast setting. I'll go over to the toast setting. 400 degrees, and the default time is 7 minutes. I've done this before, and I don't believe the manufacturer has this set correctly. I'll put in the bread. It's been heating up about 2 minutes, and if you notice, the heating elements on the bottom are on, but the ones on the top are not. And that definitely is a problem for toast. 4 minutes remaining, and I could stop it now. If you notice, the bottom of the toast is getting toasted, but the top side, not so much. For the next test, I'll go over to bake, leave it at 400 degrees, and turn it on. However, there's still an issue, and I'll put the bread in and let it toast up. I could go ahead and stop it now. And let me show you what I'm looking at. This time, the bottom looks good. The top is starting to brown, but it's nowhere as brown as the bottom. Fortunately, I have a solution. What I think is happening is the wire rack is closer to the bottom elements compared to the top. So I'll move the wire rack up one position to the air frying position, put another piece of bread in, close it up, and I'll go back to bake, 400 degrees, and let her rip. Also, I'll adjust the time down 4 minutes. It has 2 minutes left, but I'll stop it now. Toast is definitely nice and well done. And part of that, I think, is from letting the elements preheat. Get that toast out of there. And now if you notice, the top is done, the bottom is done, everything looks groovy. That's my solution. Next and final test, air fried bacon. So I'm gonna leave it on air fry, change the temperature down to 360. And 360 in an air fryer is pretty much almost like 400 in an oven. And 400 is the best temperature to cook bacon. I'll leave it on the 20 minutes and hit start. While it is preheating, I'll put down some strips of bacon. Air fryer is up to temperature, and I'll put the bacon into the air fry position. Bacon's been going about 10 minutes, and it looks pretty crisp. That's what I'm looking at. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Those are some cooking examples with the Kitchen Elite air fryer oven. I did have to make some adjustments. I noticed some issues, but nonetheless, overall, I really like this device. I have noted down my thoughts, and here's what I think. In regards to all air fryer ovens, it doesn't matter what brand, they're all the same. There are a lot of functions, okay? And they're really not necessary. In fact, I believe they make the air fryer oven thing kind of intimidating and overcomplicated. You only really need two functions: bake and air fry. That's it. And you should be able to adjust bake or air fry to the whole temperature range that the device supports. That's my thoughts. Some people might find it convenient to use the functions, but the problem is they're not always the right temperature, or what I feel is the correct temperature for cooking different items. And again, that's typical for all air fryer ovens I have tested, and I've tested quite a few. Let's go over my list of cons. The first con: it has dehydrator printed on the door, but there is no dehydrator function in the list of functions, and that's a very specific type of thing. For instance, dehydration usually on most air fryer ovens goes between 100 and maybe 160 degrees, somewhere around there. Anyhow, it just doesn't have that. Another thing, the toast function. I showed you in my video, it really doesn't work effectively. It only uses the lower heating elements, and not only that, I tried it again after I filmed that segment, and I noticed that the lower heating elements are on, but also the air fryer fan is on. And I'm thinking, God, why would you want the air fryer fan on when you're making toast? It didn't make any sense. So if you purchase this device, just do it the way that I showed you in the video, and you will get perfect toast. In fact, the toast generated by this is definitely better than some of the other competitors that I have tried. And the last con I could think of, and I already pretty much mentioned it, with all the functions, the various times and temperatures they have associated with them, they're really not the best. And just be mindful, okay? When you're cooking something, know what temperature you should be cooking it at. I mean, most people that buy these things, I think they already know how to cook. They already know how to use an oven. And if you're not sure, just Google it, and you'll be able to find out what times and temperatures work best. As far as the pros go, I love the French doors. I always like a French door air fryer oven. To me, it's really convenient. This device definitely heats up nice and quick. Compared to other air fryer ovens I've tested, this is on par with the best of them. I like that it does offer different levels to cook on, because it's very much needed. Depending on what you're doing, you're going to want to use different levels. All the foods I have tested with it cook perfectly at the time I'm expecting, maybe even a minute or two quicker. So definitely thumbs up on that. I think it's fairly easy to clean, just like any other air fryer oven. I use Dawn Power Wash. I use it on the outside of the glass and on the inside, in addition to the interior of the oven. After I'm done using Dawn Power Wash, I go over it with a wet paper towel with water, and then, just in case, I operate a 20-minute cycle at 450 degrees. That way any chemical residue will be burned off. The air fryer fan operation is pretty quiet. I'm pretty sure you heard it in my videos. It is noticeable. Any air fryer with a fan, you're gonna hear the fan. But this one is not very loud at all. It has pretty quiet operation. And really, those are my basic thoughts on this. If you have any more questions or concerns or anything else, drop me a line below. I love hearing from you, and I'll try to get back to you. Also, look at my description down below. I have a link back to Amazon where you can purchase the Kitchen Elite 26.4 quart air fryer oven. And that's really all I have for you right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. If you disliked it, hit the thumbs down. And until next time, have a stellar day. Be excellent. And most of all, remember me, I'm KJ Andio, your food experience host with the most. Y'all take care, and I'll see you next time.